In 2024, knowing exactly what to price your social media management packages is like playing a whole different game. Are you underselling your skills? What about video? How do we know what to charge? Is it consulting? Is it done for you? In this video, I'm going to walk you through some things to consider as you're looking at charging for your social media services. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name's Andrea Jones. I'm a mindful marketing strategist and a mentor for social media pros. And I'm all about finding that balance between hustle and the soft life so that you can build a business that you enjoy and one that actually supports your family at the end of the day. And if you're anything like me, you've got two little gremlins running around that you also have to consider when it comes to work and life and all of the things. And so in this video, I want to talk about pricing so that you're not underpricing yourself, but you're also at a price that the market can bear, because I can tell you from experience, there is a price that at some point the market can't bear it. Especially if you are a social media professional that's more on the freelance side or the boutique agency like myself, where you're not this giant, top 100 marketing agency with like the glamorous offices in New York and London and LA, or you're more like me. You have a small team, you run your business from your home, and you're looking for a way to price yourself that says, yes, this is a quality service. And also, we don't have the overhead of the giant marketing companies, right? So let's talk about it. First, you got to kind of understand the landscape of social media as it is today. It is very different than when I started my business 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you could take the same square graphic, post it to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, dust your hands off, and call it a day. Today, we have so many different types of content pieces that we can post, from text to GIFs to vertical video to, responding in the comments in an engaging way. And we also have to add in humor and be funny. And there's so many different skill sets involved with being a social media manager today. And so that definitely plays a role into how you price yourself. Specifically, I want to highlight the demands of short form vertical video. I call these micro videos. When we think about micro videos, they take a lot of freaking time to put together. So whether it's you or you have a video editor on your team, this is a totally different ball game than we were playing pre-TikTok. Okay, so there's a lot more effort involved when it comes to creating our services. So how do we price them? Well, there's a few other things to consider before we get into the pricing conversation. Number one is the scale between freelancer and agency. Okay. And oftentimes I'm talking to people who are like, here on the scale, right? You're not a freelancer, probably, but you're also not a massive agency with like 100 employees. So how are you pricing yourself? Well, it's in that sweet spot between freelancer and agency. And I will say that scale goes even farther this way when you start thinking about someone newer in their journey, like maybe a virtual assistant. So virtual assistants are probably charging hourly or package rates. When we're thinking about a freelancer, you probably are packaging up your services in a specific way, and agencies have a systemized, a productized package that they're running people through, right? And they charge differently, very differently. And then it also depends on your region, like where you live and how you're charging. So I live in Canada, for instance, but 95% of my clients are in the US. My clients also tend to be small home-based businesses. And I don't like using the word small because they're definitely impactful, but they're small in the sense that they're probably between 600,000 and 10 million in revenue. After 10 million in revenue, they're probably hiring an internal team. So that is something to think about as well, like who your clients are and how they are approaching their marketing. So if you work with someone, for instance, if you work with businesses less than 500K in revenue, there's only so much you can charge based on your pricing. For example, a rule of thumb, like a general rule of thumb that a lot of business coaches use, is that your marketing budget should be between 2 and 5% of your revenue. Yeah, 2 and 5%. So if I'm gonna do a little maths here, and math's not my strength, so yeah, I'm pulling out a calculator. So if I wanna work with a business that makes $500,000 a year, and I want to see what 2% of their revenue is, that's $10,000 a year. Divide that by 12, they have about $833 a month to use for marketing. Okay. And that's marketing everything, not just social media. So you can see how your pricing can vary depending on the size of business that you're working with. That is not always a hard and fast rule. There are plenty of businesses who spend more on their marketing, but generally speaking, a lot of people look at marketing as an expense according to their revenue. All right, so when you're thinking about your packages, I want you to think about the scope of services that you deliver. I want you to write down everything you do. And generally speaking, when I am working with social media pros on this and we're trying to fine tune their packaging, a lot of times y'all kind of downplay what you do. They go, oh, we create content, we post it, we manage the community, and then we do reporting. And they're like, it's 4 things. And then when we start breaking it down, it turns into like 25 steps, right? And so I want you to think about everything from the beginning to the end. Are you strategizing? Where's that line item? Is it a monthly strategy, quarterly strategy, weekly strategy? Do you hunt down trends? Are you researching and analyzing the market? Are you doing competitor analysis? So all that goes under the strategy bucket, right? And then when you're sitting down to plan your content, it's like you're thinking about the concept of the post. Is this a reel? Is it a carousel? Is it a TikTok? Is it a written post? Is it text only? Okay. And then we're thinking about the assets that go with this. Do I need to edit the video? Does it need a reel cover designed? Do I need a carousel post? Is this going to be on LinkedIn as well as Instagram? And what does that look like? Right. So we're analyzing writing captions, designing graphics, editing videos. If you also film for your clients, are you doing photos and videos on site? Are you accounting for your travel time to and from the site? Okay. Are you posting on behalf of your clients? I used to call this scheduling, but y'all, half of the placements right now need to be manually posted anyways. So it's not even scheduling anymore. It's posting. So are you scheduling? Do you have a scheduling tool? I use Metricool right now. So I'm scheduling in Metricool. Then the other half of the posts are posted regularly. So my team is logging into Instagram and like adding something to an Instagram broadcast channel, or adding the reels with the right sounds, the stickers to the stories. There's a lot that goes into that. And then once the post is live, are you responding to the comments? Are you responding to direct messages? Are you checking in that your ManyChat bot is working? And then we're analyzing, right? We're analyzing the results weekly, monthly, quarterly. Are you optimizing the accounts during launches, for instance? Are you changing out those 3 pinned posts on Instagram? Are you pinning something new to Threads or to Twitter or to Facebook, right? Do you meet with your clients? Do you have monthly strategy calls with them? All of these things play a role into your pricing. So I want you to write down everything you do for your clients and then break it down into different packages. So, first start off with like the high level package. If a client were to come to you and get everything, what would that include? And then you can kind of create smaller packages from there based on the deliverables. Typically, how it's broken down is you have a strategy package, you have maybe a smaller in-between package that has some content creation and posting, and then you have a larger package that maybe also has community management. It also has like paid ads or something like that, okay? So we want to decide on those packages. And then you also want to consider if you are doing this with multiple platforms. So my packages, how I set them up, I have multi-platform services, an omni-channel package, if you will. And so if someone comes to me today, it doesn't matter if they get just Instagram or if they get Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, my packages consider those omni-channel platforms. And a lot of my clients are just at the time and space in their business where, since they're outsourcing it, they do want to be on more platforms. So when you're thinking about your pricing, I want you to start pricing out these packages. Now, at this stage, I want you to do some competitor research. And I think it's very important to do this. I know that there are some standard prices, and I'll talk about these in a minute, but I also want to note that you want to look at the people in your industry who are doing what you do, and you want to see what they charge. So for example, I tend to work with personality-based brands. My company also tends to work with like wellness companies. So life coaches, like an app about meditation, that's got like a really big personality, things like that, right? business coaches, a lot of coaches I work with. And so I want to look at other similar size agencies and see what they charge for similar packages. This is important because your clients are doing the exact same thing when they come to you. I'm not saying that you need to price match. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to understand who your competition is and what they're priced at. And oftentimes when I do this, I see someone else and I'm like, oh, we're way better than them. And so it, to me, justifies the price that I charge because we're better than them, right? And so I do want to acknowledge that as well at this point. Also, before you price your packages, I want you to determine your baseline rate. And I talk about this in my free private podcast called Raise Your Rates. I'll link it below this video. Raise Your Rates talks a lot about where you should be priced because it is very important to understand that specifically for you and your expenses in your business. So I'm going to give you some like generic pricing that you can think about. However, it really depends on your expenses. So for instance, a team of 2 is a very different expense than a team of 10. And even just thinking about software expenses going from a team of 2 to a team of 10 is vastly different. So you want to think about your baseline package rate, like for that Whammy Kabammy package, if someone was to come to you and go, I want everything, what is the price that you can charge where you're not in the red? That's very important. In fact, you're 30% profitable at least, okay? So download the Raise Your Rates podcast. I go into that in detail, but that's important to note. Let's talk about different packages and what you should charge. So first off, right off the bat, you should not be charging less than $1,000 a month for a done-for-you service. Yeah, I'm going to say it. We need to set the bar for social media managers. That's here now today in 2024. This will change as, inflation happens and pricing things change. But I don't really think for a done-for-you social media management service, it should be less than $1,000 a package. Now, in that package, you're probably including like maybe 2 or 3 posts a week. At most, you're definitely not doing community management, like responding to comments and messages. But you've got that includes some research, you're posting, you're able to design, you're able to post videos and stories and like all the things clients want. And you're able to do some reporting and some strategy. And that's for like a beginner social media manager. That would be my expectation. And then that can scale up from there. I have not seen a social media manager only package for a boutique agency that is more than $5,000 a month. Okay, I have not seen a social media management only package. So I'm not talking about like we'll throw on a blog and a podcast and email marketing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just social media management. I have not seen it more than $5,000 a month. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I think that's kind of at the high end. So between $1,000 and $5,000 is where I see a lot of social media managers and agencies play. Now, the bigger agencies can charge more for this, but typically they're doing things like on-site video and content shoots, which that can like jump the price way up. And then they're typically doing a lot of other marketing campaigns as well. They're basically producing like TV style ads at that rate. Okay. So you've got to understand what your competition is when you're pricing, because if someone can afford $5,000 a month, they're going to go with the agency that can do all of like the on-site shoots and things like that. Let's talk about my prices as an example. So I have 3 different packages right now. The first package is $500 a month. It's strategy only, okay? Strategy only. And that package is on my website. I also have a middle package that's $2,000 a month. It's a very light content creation and it just starts at $2,000 and scales up from there. Most of my clients are around $3,500 a month. And I also do for a lot of my clients other things as well. We add on a blog post, we add on a newsletter, we add on paid ads, email marketing, YouTube videos, podcasting, because a lot of the skill sets and a lot of the research we do are applicable to other content marketing verticals. But my non-negotiable is usually a client has to have a social media package to work with us. Okay. So $500, $2,000, $3,500. Those are my prices and my packages on my website. as you think about your packages, I want you to think about the value that your package offers. And if you cannot show ROI, it is very hard to save a client at $3,500 a month, even if they're a multi-million-dollar company. So for example, we do this in our storytelling style reports for our clients, and we make sure that we are aligning our social media data to their business goals. This is so important to not only attract clients, but to maintain them. You also want to make sure you have case studies that show your results. There's a lot of things that go into higher pricing. You can't just come out here and say, I'm charging $3,500 a month, and you don't have case studies to back it up. You don't have testimonials. You can't speak with authority on the topic and the subject at hand. So there you have it. There's how to price your social media management services in 2024. Comment below. Let me know if you found this video helpful. And make sure you download the Raise Your Rates podcast, which talks a lot about pricing as well, and it continues the conversation. I'll see you in the private pod. Bye.